It started about 3.5 years ago. I was becoming overweight. I went and saw my doctor, my primary care physician, and I carry my weight well, so you don't really see it that much because I'm kind of a stocky guy anyway. And so, when I told people what I was doing, they're like, "Why, Scott? Why do you need to lose weight? You don't look like you need to lose weight." But 3.5 years ago, it was more of a metabolic thing for me, and my blood. I did, as a result of seeing my primary care physician, I did blood work, and my cholesterol was really high. My A1C, which is my sugar levels,
Mhm.
were really high, and I wasn't quite in the range where I was going to need medication, but I was right on that borderline. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to start medications. Both my parents are on medications for high blood pressure and cholesterol, and they're not obese by any means, but I knew that's kind of in my history, and so anything that I could do to stay away from the medications and take care of myself better was what I was very interested in doing. I never done any diets up until that point. So I was 46, 47 years old back then when I started, and I'd never had to do diets or anything. So I was really, I did a lot of research about what I wanted to do, and a couple people referred Hearn Reed Medical Weight Loss Clinic to me, and I looked into it, and I got started, 3.5 years ago, the first time around. And back then, I was I think I was weighing in about 205, and I'm only 5'8". So again, but it was more of a stocky build, and not just, the belly fat or anything like that. So I hit it really well. But anyway, so I went down and I met with the doctor back then, and we got started. And it was incredible to me how fast I actually started losing the weight by not doing anything. I mean, they said, look, we don't want you to exercise. This is a very low calorie keto diet, and this is how it's going to work. And, but exercise is not in the plan right now. And that was really mind boggling to me. I'm like, really? No exercise? Wait a minute. And then to see my weight drop as fast as I did, it was like just incredible. And I couldn't believe it. It was like it was just falling off of me. And so I think I think I set my goal weight at back then. I want to say it was like 180 is what I was looking to get down to, and like I said, I was 205. So it took me about 2 months, almost 3 months, to get to my goal weight. And then after my goal weight, back then it was called realimentation. And so I did the realimentation, started that. This is kind of where I'm going to get into. There's a lot of difference now as opposed to when I did it 3.5 years ago. But the realimentation there was no structure. It was kind of like, okay, we're going to start bringing foods back into your diet. This is how you're going to do it. Here's some printouts, and you know, go take care of it, kind of thing, right? And so I did. I don't know if I did it right, but I did. I was slowly bringing foods back in, and it seemed to be okay. And then after I did that, they said do that for about a month, and then there's what's called Compass. And I decided that I was happy where I was at. I got to my goal weight, and I didn't want to continue on Compass. And so I didn't. So I left Hearn Reed, I detached, and I started living my life um, with a better lifestyle, of course. I was happy to be where I was at. All my numbers, cholesterol was down, my A1C was down, all that blood work was all down into the normal range. My blood pressure was in the normal range. So I was super happy with everything. So I tried to make it a lifestyle, eating better. I brought my exercise back into it and whatnot. But I was, you know, 3 years later, here I was again going, oh my gosh, I'm 195 pounds. I just went and saw my doctor, and my blood is back up to, all my numbers are back up again, right at the borderline. Nothing again where I needed to take medication, but he was like, hey, look, if you don't do something, then I'm going to have to start prescribing medication, because you're pre-diabetic, you're definitely higher on the cholesterol, and your blood pressure is up. And I'm like, and this is a new pediatrician, or not pediatrician, a new primary care physician that I had. And so I said, hey, doc, I go, I know what I need to do. I go, I just need to get a referral from you. And I need to get myself checked back into the Hearn Reed Medical Weight Loss Clinic and lose the weight. And I know my numbers will drop, and I'll get back to where I need to be healthy, and to where you're happy as my doctor. And so he's like, okay, I'm for that. Let's do that. So that's what I did recently in the last, well, now it's been, let's see, it's been 2 months about, but I'm already into what's now reintroduction, as opposed to realimentation. So I'm in step B of reintroduction with Perry Tanner, who's my educator, which that's all new too. And I love that. But anyhow, going back to the second time, it was like, I need to drop this weight. I went in, saw the doctor there at Hearn Reed. At this time, I said, I want to try and go a little lower. I think I can. I think I have the weight to lose. And so I set my goal at 175. And so I started my diet probably, I want to say, well, I want to have been into step B. It's probably been almost 2 months. But the crazy part again was how fast the weight fell off. But I kind of knew that was going to happen this time, but it actually went faster. And this time I had more tools and I had more help. So I ended up finding out there's a blood device, checker device called MyoKeto device, where it measures your glucose and your ketones. And so that really helped me. You look for things that motivate you to lose the weight. And along with stepping on the scale every day and seeing the pounds fall off, knowing that I was in ketosis was super important to me. And so this blood machine that was recommended by you guys that I got on Amazon was another motivator for me, because I would wake up and that's, I'd weigh myself and I would do my blood check and I would see that I was still in ketosis. Because if it's one thing I got to say with this diet and following it, is you need to stay in ketosis. That's so important, because that helps you with your satiety and feeling healthy. Because once you get in it, your body's, breaking down that fat, giving you that energy you need, and you don't feel hungry anymore. But yet you're losing that weight. If you keep bouncing in and out of ketosis, then that's when you start slipping up. That's because you feel hungry again. You reach for those, snacks that you shouldn't be reaching for, those cravings that you're getting, which really don't do anything for you. I mean, those are like quick fixes that, a half an hour later, you're feeling the same way you did, except a little more guilty because you shouldn't have did what you did. So anyhow, that blood checker was a huge motivator for me as well. So to have the scale and the blood checker was super important. And then the weekly check-ins was great too, with the educators, because you're with the group of people that are right there with you, having the goods and bads, because you do slip up every once in a while. That's just normal. But the support that you get from the other people that have done that say, yeah, you know what, I did that, Scott, but get back on the train. You can do it. No problem. You'll be right there again. Hearing that from people that are walking the same trail that you're walking. And then of course the educator, telling you it's okay, it's fine, no problem, you're going to do fine, this is how you're going to get back on track, really helps too, as far as motivating you and not getting you so um, uh, depressed and guilty about what you did, because you can go down that rabbit hole where it's like, you know what, I messed up, it's pointless, and you just keep going deeper and deeper, and nobody wants to go there and do that and have that happen. So so it was those things that really helped me this time around get to where I needed to go. And like I said, it was 175 is where my goal was. And I think I weighed in the first time when I went down to the clinic. I think it was 197, 198, right around there. And so that I lost all that in literally 5 weeks. I lost 30. So now I'm actually weighed in yesterday and I was 166. I actually went even lower, which Perry kind of told me that was going to happen when you go into reintroduction. When you're on step A and step B, you're not adding a lot of calories, and so you're still going to lose some weight. Because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just because I was going to go meet with the doctor, and I said maybe I'll just readjust it to 170 for my goal weight instead of 175 and stay in the diet a little bit longer, which I knew it wasn't going to be that long with how fast the weight was falling off. I was literally losing a pound a day. In the beginning, it was like 2 pounds a day. And then I was doing a pound a day. So, so anyways, it was, I went in and talked to the doctor and talked to Perry. And when Perry told me that I would still lose some weight in reintroduction during step A and step B, then I said, nah, let's start into reintroduction and let's get out of the diet phase. And so that was the plan. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm in let's see, this is going to be week 4. I'm starting week 4 of step B. And so I have 1 more week of step B, and then of course the 2 more weeks of step C. But leading into that, this, like I said, this reintroduction is so much more structured, so much more helpful. The handouts that they give you, doing the Zoom calls are amazing, because it's more convenient. You don't have to drive. I live in Grass Valley, so I got about a 35-40 minute drive to Roseville to do those meetings. So if there's any positive light in this whole COVID thing and having to social distance and whatnot, it's these Zoom calls and making it more convenient to get on the calls, see the people you're, like I said, walking down that trail with, and seeing your educator and being able to have that access that easy for us. So that's all been so much of a better change from 3.5 years ago when I did it the first time. And the other thing I'm really looking forward to, of course, I'm not there yet, is going into maintenance, AKA Compass. So, so I've been talking to Perry about that, and I told her if it's one thing that's super important to me this time around is to do that maintenance, because that's going to keep me accountable to stay on track and do the right things and eat the right foods, and honestly make it a true lifestyle change going forward, and not having to, not that I don't like seeing or being a part of the Hearn Reed Medical Weight Loss Clinic, but not having to go back and do it all over again 3 years from now or 4 years from now. And I really feel that the maintenance program is going to prevent me from having to do that. And now that I'm 50, I really got to look at those things closer. And staying healthy and staying off the medications are super important to me. So that's a lot of my story and why I've done Hearn Reed Medical Weight Loss Clinic and how happy I am to be a part of that group.
Awesome. I don't even really have any extra questions because you cover anything that sometimes I have to like prompt people, like, okay, so tell me a little bit about this or tell me a little bit about that. You covered all that in your story. So I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's easy to do, Justin. I mean, when it's about your health and about living longer and staying around to see your grandchildren and it's not a difficult decision for me. And so, not to mention, I'm a nurse, so I'm a little OCD about taking care of myself and seeing unhealthy people and wanting to get them better and not wanting to go down that path. It's a little more, I can stay with it easier. You know, I'm more disciplined, I guess is the word that I'm going to use. So again, it's not a difficult decision. It's something I knew I needed to do, and it's just getting your mind in that place, finding the ways that are going to motivate you, and then rewarding yourself too. Like, you know, I do things like I go out and I like golfing, but it's like I'll make those my rewards. It's like, okay, when I reach this certain goal, then I'm going to treat myself to go out and play a round of golf, or being here at the dog park. Like I told you, I don't know if we got it on recording, but now I'm here at the dog park with my dog. I'm going to go spend time with my dog and watch him run around with all the other dogs and have a good time and get healthy while he's doing that. That's a reward to me. And so that's one of the rewards I use to get me through the program and reach my little goals that I need to get. It's like, okay, I reached it. Now I'm going to go take my dog to the dog park and enjoy that time. So